LeBron never had this triangle system. It was all put the weight on him. And anytime you put the weight on somebody without the system, they didn't win.
What would it took for LeBron to win more rings in his career? You can look at a bunch of different things before you look at, oh, he needed a system.
All right, so I don't know if y'all have seen this Gilbert Arenas clip where him and John Sally are sitting down. It's a pretty good episode of the podcast as a whole. But Gilbert Arenas says that LeBron James is a system player. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy.
LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron. Now, before I play the clip, I just want to ask y'all real quick, how do you define a system player?
I guess every player in NBA history played in the system. So if that's the argument, then I guess. Other than that, I don't define that way.
I would say a player who has a significant increase of production because of a certain style of play or a system that's been put in place to allow that player to play a certain way.
I don't think there is a system player. There is no definition to me. I think everyone either takes advantage / improves from certain systems, or they just don't. You know what I'm saying? You either fit in the system or you don't.
It's gonna come off as hate, but isn't Kobe a system player by these definitions? Like by Gilbert Arenas?
By these definitions, yeah.
Hey, a lot of niggas use.
Well, let's see what they say. Let's just tap in to Gil's Arena.
You and I had the same idea that LeBron would have more championships if he had a system. I'm not saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. I don't think anybody's better than Michael Jordan. For about 12 years, I said Kobe and Mike. I did that because I needed to stay relevant and y'all to hate me. Right. I know how to do television.
Yeah.
Admitting that is crazy, but
yeah. You know, you're only doing TV.
I learned from somebody.
Right. So, but this is what I think. And I thought about the system. I thought about it because when I knew I was coming on today, I'm telling you, if LeBron, the reason it seems like LeBron is like firing people and getting out because of what you said. He only wants to win and everybody else wants to be cool. And I think if there was a system where you can see automatically what things are going wrong, like in the triangle, Kobe broke the triangle, Shaq broke the triangle, Michael broke it all the time, but it was set up till it hypnotized whoever's playing defense is when you can do your thing. Because they were just like, he's going to cut and beat me again. I'm not helping this guy. It confused everybody. So when I said that on my podcast, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about if he had something he can go down to, not when it's down to 5 seconds and everybody just goes, everyone stands there and go, what you gonna do? Every time it's what you gonna do, you really can't get it done.
And so you talked about that. Let's show that clip from your TFU podcast. Are you making those comments?
LeBron doesn't have more championships because LeBron never played in a system that breeds championships. The triangle offense had Phil and Michael win 6 championships. They would have won 8 championships if Michael didn't go away.
Ain't that the truth?
Then to prove that point, they come to LA and he wins 5 championships with the same offense with a great player. But it's a system. They couldn't beat the triangle system. Then this guy named Steve Kerr goes and takes a version of it and wins 4 championships with it. It's a system. LeBron never had this triangle system. It was all put the weight on him. And anytime you put the weight on somebody without the system, they didn't win.
LeBron, yes, you got to go to Golden State, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Durant was the smartest move.
Okay, so first, before we continue down this path, how do y'all feel about what he says? And why do they dick suck the triangle so much?
Because it worked. I mean, that's the reason. It worked. To
In
the
their
tune of
lifetime,
11 championships.
I'm about to say, if in his mind that the triangle genuinely won 11 championships, why wouldn't you dick suck that system? Like, he watched 11 different championships be won based off of this system. Incorporate whatever players you want. If you can run through 2 different eras of basketball with the same system essentially and win, cool. Now, I don't know about Steve Kerr taking a version of it and then running off to Golden State with it. That's kind of crazy. I don't know about that.
Steve Kerr ran in isosceles. Nah, I don't see that one at all. But as to why he loves the triangle, I mean, Damo pretty much hit it on the head, especially relative to what kind of era those players or he would glorify. Yeah, for sure. If that triangle was so prominent on some link shit that it would be good in multiple decades of basketball, I'm not surprised that he would crown it as an 11-time champion system. It pretty much have to accept that it is, but the Warriors thing was a nasty push. I don't see that.
Do y'all think he even called? Maybe there's more to the clip, but I didn't get from that he called LeBron a system player, though. If anything, is the opposite. Like, he's never been in the system.
Well, I was also going to ask, do y'all agree with the sentiments that that's why LeBron doesn't have more rings, is because there actually hasn't been a system put into place?
Maybe just a different wording, but to me, I truly do feel like LeBron could have benefited from a stable front office, like a competent front office. And for a lot of his career, he's had bad front offices that, wasn't able to put the right pieces around him, wasn't able to give him a proper coach at the right time. There's been a lot, like, we talked about it on the pod, bro. Like, for some reason, ever since he left Cleveland the first time, he has been gifted a lot of young coaches that needed to prove themselves first, as opposed to giving him, I don't know, a Phil Jackson off the bat, which I know is a lofty task, but someone way more experienced, or even like a Doc Rivers. I know Doc Rivers is probably a bad example, but long story short, like, if LeBron had coaches that were more established instead of these prove-it coaches, I feel like his career would have been probably one or two more rings than what he got right now, which would mean a lot in a lot of the conversations that we have. So,
I would genuinely say, I mean, to be so honest, I ain't gonna lie, I lost it.
Okay, let me finish playing it. Let's see what Mr. Bird has to say.
Because you guys I watched it the whole time. Gil, you don't have a championship, but you're a winner, right? There's a difference between a winner and a champion. You can't come on the other side of the velvet rope, but
Game's a winner, Damo.
He's still a winner. And I just think I've been watching him, and I played against Magic, and I still have nightmares. I still if I think basketball, I think about Kevin McHale and that, smelling like garlic on purpose type stuff. And Larry Bird just going, I still have those thoughts because I didn't sleep the night before. And then when you got to play, you real sleepy, you take a nap, all this different stuff. When I think about LeBron, I think about how when you give him the ball and he's dribbling, all of a sudden everybody is just sagging because he knows he's going to pass it first. And he knows when he passes to the guy, it's a 40%, 30% chance he's going to hit the shot. In the triangle, LeBron passed that ball and run off second guard option. Now, you have to stay on LeBron. He just keeps opening it, and then when they adjust, then he scores.
Yep.
When they adjust back, that guy scores. And you put in those positions to do it. It's to the next man. You help the next man. And that's what I meant by he didn't have a system. They even get down to the coaches where the coaches will go, remember when Michael first time they gave him the ball and Phil was like, my job was give Michael the ball and everybody get out of the way? That's why he didn't beat us anymore, because we knew he couldn't push Joe Dumas. He was going to get smacked coming in the lane. We didn't care.
Okay, shut the hell up. Where's Gilbert Arenas talking?
Yeah, and who? I guess my spoiler alert question even applies to what you asked earlier about LeBron winning if he had a system. Is who does he beat for your original question? But who is he running a system with? Who is he running this triangle with? Like,
because they claim the triangle is also very complicated to learn. Because that's my thing about the triangle.
Yeah. Like some chat is saying the Heat, but they won 2 chips.
The triangle is the most magical thing, but yet every team doesn't run it. Teams aren't attempting to. I'm talking about running to a T. You'll hear somebody, well, actually, they take elements of the triangle and they try to implement it. And blah. No, I'm talking about running it to the T. If the triangle was this end all be all, and I get it, maybe he's just referring to the triangles. That's what he's saying here. But if the way that the Heat are playing, if the way the Cavs the first time are playing, the second time are playing, that is the system. That is the system. I don't I don't know who is he running this triangle with.
Because you're not gonna say the big three Heat when they won 2 championships, and the one reason they didn't win 3 championships, a lot of people would put that blame on LeBron James. The fourth one, you would put that on the Miami roster just simply not being that good. So if you think the system Dolo is one of those two, go for it, I guess. So at max an extra one. Cleveland literally is the most 1-to-1 shit of they weren't winning regardless. Injuries in 2015, they won in 2016. And I'm sorry, if you think the triangle solo squads that Warriors team, hey, go for it. And then anything prior to, come on, gang. the old man Ben Wallace, Big Z triangle with Larry Hughes.
Well, the Lakers should have ran the triangle. That's what he's getting at.
Yeah, and then you get LeBron and Anthony Davis. Are we running the triangle there? Are we running a triangle in 2019 with the baby Lakers prior to LeBron's? I guess that's my question. Where is he running this triangle at? If we could talk about LeBron having fraudulent coaches, we could talk about LeBron having fraudulent rosters. But the triangle specifically and what the triangle demands and what kind of players you need to have, I don't know when we're playing that over what he already did. Because we're acting like LeBron didn't make the finals 10 times.
Football offseason is ramping up tremendously. Trades after trades, signings after signings. Who will win next year? Who will succeed? Well, over at Prize Picks, you can succeed if you play daily fantasy. Let's take a look at Prize Picks. We've got some easy numbers here. We got CJ Stroud, my personal MVP, for 4,000 yards on the season.
You can do the whole season? That's crazy.
I'm learning something today, and I'm about to make a 30-minute drive.
And then on the receiving side of things, we've had some moving and we've had some shaking, but I think one of the more guaranteed picks, Moore for $499.5. Make sure that you place those things early for the football season. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some change on there. I'm a little scary, so I'm going to just put that for the long game right there. And I'm going to hit place entry. And it is just as simple as that on Prize Picks.
And if you use code LKIB, you guys can get a 100% match on your first deposit of up to $100. Links to everything will be in the description down below. And shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this podcast.
I don't know. In terms of systems, I mean, the only time we can say LeBron's been in some type of a system was down in Miami, and that's where he really won the most with any singular team. He won 2 there. He won 1 everywhere else. So even in terms of his success rate, he was more successful when he was under some form of a system, whatever system you want to say that was. That definitely was the most structure he's had in his career up until then, and honestly since. So, I mean, there is something to it. I wouldn't say the triangle. I'm not going to say he needs to run the triangle, but maybe the tail end of LeBron's career would have been a lot easier or a lot more consistent if he had some form of a system.
Yeah, I just agree with the overall point that LeBron would have benefited a lot from having a lot of continuity and structure in his career. The triangle shit, all right, it could be a different system. Could have been fucking Mike D'Antoni for all I care.
Wait. Yeah. With that being said, though, you feel like first stint Cleveland, second stint Cleveland, and Lakers are just systemless, lawlessness, ISO.
No. I'm not saying they're systemless, but it's the constant coaching changes that now I got to go from one system to the next in such a short amount of time instead of just focusing on one system, learning how to master from a roster perspective, not just LeBron, but from a roster perspective, and adding on top of that to the point where all I got to focus on right now is just execution and adding the right pieces to that roster to execute it better.
I would say the first thing Cleveland, even Mike Brown has went on and said that he was just letting LeBron do whatever the hell he wanted first stint. So no, I do think it was lawlessness a lot of the times, or in big moments. Mike Brown said it. He flat out said,
In big moments, I agree, but them niggas ran. Again,
they had a style of play. They had an identity that they wanted to have. I give you that, but still, I wouldn't say that. I don't think they had a system. I mean, well, technically, everybody has a system. Like every team, well, except for the first 2 years of Jalen Green's career, I genuinely do think the Rockets didn't have a system. They was playing AAU ball. Other than that, legit, every NBA team has some form of system. I give you that. Now, how good or strong are said systems varies between teams, and I think LeBron at one point in his time played in a very strong system in Miami, a very strong culture. Even maybe I'm confusing system with culture and actual way of play or whatever style of play. Maybe I'm just bunch of things into system. But second best, I would say the Lakers, and I think that the Heat had a more consistent system or a stronger system than the Lakers have. point in case what Souls is saying, constant coaching changes, disagreement, stuff like that. You can't have that. I think that based off memory, maybe it's just recency bias. I think the Lakers system was stronger than the Cavs system because the Cavs was genuinely just LeBron and Kyrie ball, and if it's not them, hey, fuck it, somebody open. Yeah, fuck it, somebody open because they're doubling us. Somebody's gonna be open. Just hit your shots.
And that's ironic that you say that. And this isn't my gotcha for your argument, but this is just in general to add to the general conversation when we talk about if LeBron needed to be a system player, because unironically, that Cavs run you're talking about is probably the best version of LeBron James and really offensives that we've seen in a long time. I will always harp home that the 2017 Cavs, as much as I said earlier in this clip, that what do you think the triangle would have beat the Warriors? No, but like a good 90% of NBA history, they ain't stopping that offense. That Cavaliers offense in 2017, do your Googles, was crazy. And if we're dumbing it down to Kyrie and LeBron ISOs, Kyrie and I said it right the first time. What am I talking about? Kyrie and LeBron ISOs. I'm not even taking away nor even disagreeing with that, but that kind of just adds to the point that I don't think he necessarily needed some hardwired ass system because he's that great, that versatile, and that like his ability to understand defenses allowed him to call these audibles depending on what defense was being played against him. It's just that I guess maybe in the early half of his career, but then I don't think that he had players in the early half of his career to really argue that the system that's being implemented would work. Or really any system, because goddamn, like them Cavs teams. Oof.
Let me pull this up. This is Gil's part before we close this out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is he don't get like it's like you have to give someone the benefit of the doubt, right? If it's like what do they call them when you don't have a record label?
Independent,
right?
Yeah.
So if the system is the record label and no system is independent, and I'm selling just as many records or more records than you, right? You got 5 platinums, he got 6 platinums, I got 4 platinums. How are you penalizing me when you have the clear advantage over me?
But you're not being penalized.
You are.
You're not.
You're penalizing me, but one, I outdid more numbers than you. Like the man was Magic Johnson 2.0, right? And I hate when Jordan fans say this. He was a pass first guy. That's a bad take for you because he has the scoring title. So the guy who didn't want to shoot the ball got the most points. That is not a good take for you. You might want to lose that out because the guy who second nature was scoring has the most aggressive set.
I think your music take is more right on than anything because you talk about independent versus majors, right? And the independent don't got the machine behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about like somebody like Master P. Master P sells all of those records, right? Yep. But he doesn't qualify for a Grammy. He doesn't get any of those accolades, right? Because he's an independent. And because you're independent doesn't mean that you don't get the acknowledgement that you deserve because the numbers are the numbers. You sold 100 million independently.
Mm-hmm.
So that the metric of a like your hypothetical is, well, imagine what happens if I have the machine behind me.
No, that's what you're hypothetical. You're saying if he did have it, he'll do this. We're saying he still has the Emmys and the Grammys. You just got one more than him. So
no, the point is you're saying is what happens if he does have what Kobe and Mike
No,
had?
you're saying that.
No, I'm
you're
not
saying
How they both telling each other what they saying? Nah.
I agree with what you were saying, Sage. I don't like him having a system there. One, we know, at least from my perspective, that it takes Shaq to make the triangle work. It takes Kobe to make the triangle work. It takes MJ to make the triangle work, right? And I think LeBron is in that caliber of player. It also takes Scottie Pippen. It also takes Horace Grant. It also takes B.J. Armstrong. It also takes Derek Fisher. It takes Gasol. It takes Lamar Odom. It takes Ron Artest. It takes a lot of, B characters and C characters in order to make the triangle work. And we also know the triangle, like Damo just said, the triangle doesn't always work. We can talk about Melo not being on that level of
Wait, Phil Jackson said we will
Or
live
JR.
and die by the triangle. I see a lot of
we can
Go
talk
ahead.
about it being Melo, but we can also look at the people around him. Did he have did he have a Pau Gasol on that team?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can look at before, like for LeBron, and how like if what would have took for LeBron to win more rings in his career. You can look at a bunch of different things before you look at he needed a system. I think number one, just the opponents. Sometimes he went to the finals, he had good teams, he played well.
Thank
Hey,
you.
but KD Warriors.
One more Kevin Love comment.
Sorry, right? Number two is injuries. Could have got to the finals, had a competent ass team, but his players were injured, so he didn't win. And then number three, I'm blanking on number three, but yeah, there's a bunch of other things you could look at before you bring that up.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said number one because we're recording this on playback. If I had seen this, oh my bad, we're recording this on playback for free. But if I had seen one more Kevin Love,
Roster construction was my third point.
There
Just
it goes.
having better players.
There's 1 year.
I'd have lost my shit if I seen one more Kevin Love comment. Dog, in 2015, he was not there. In 2016, they won. In 2017, bro. And in 2018, bro. So I don't know why everyone's acting like the triangle's about a dolo the Warriors. Fuck y'all Link fans. Shit is no, bro. Next.
Love was asked in 2017 though.
Let me tell y'all some of these Knicks lines before we get off this clip. This is 2013, 2014. Mike Woodson is the coach. Phil Jackson is the executive. I think he gets there about halfway through. But this is Raymond Felton, Josh Smith, or J.R. Smith, Amari Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler, Carmelo Anthony. Most used lineup. All right, cool. They went 37 and 45. Next year, Derek Fisher, Phil Jackson, they go 17 and 65. Lou Amundsen, Carmelo Anthony, Jose Calderon, what's this, Lance Galloway? Is that Langston Galloway? My bad.
Langston Galloway.
And then J.R. Smith as well, right? Keep going on. I think Phil Jackson's only around for like 1 more year. This is Kurt Rambis and Derek Fisher. The coaching, they went 32-50. This is Aaron Aflalo, Carmelo Anthony, Jose Calderon, Robin Lopez, and this is a rookie year, Tingus Pingus. You can't just there's 1 more year with Jeff Hornacek too, but that's Carmelo, Courtney Lee, Joakim Noah, Kristaps Porzingis, and Derrick Rose. You can't just throw the triangle out there. It just doesn't. You still need people to make the triangle work, gang. Like you just can't say, just run the triangle. The Hawks would have been running the triangle. The Hornets would have been running the triangle.
I know we'll be running a triangle right now.
Maybe running a triangle right now.
Yeah, that'd be like the team to do it, huh?
Sometimes niggas are the system.